Hey guys, I'm the 50s kid. This is my E46 BMW. I've recently completed a manual swap in it. I've swapped in a 5-speed manual transmission, and the parts that I got from a junkyard did not have the clutch delay valve in the clutch lines. And that's a common sort of mod that people do. I think it started on the message boards. And what happens when you remove your clutch delay valve is the clutch releases a lot more quickly. This is the clutch delay valve. All it is a little tiny, it's just a brass fitting or whatever it is, a fitting with a little tiny hole in it. And the purpose of it is to delay the actual bleed off of the clutch pressure. So when you go and release your clutch pedal too fast, it actually doesn't release the clutch as fast. It actually delays that clutch from snapping out. And because I don't have this, I think that's the cause of my sort of rough shifts when I just want to sort of drive normally. You know, if I try to, you know, get it really fast and shift really fast, I can do that really fast and that's smooth. But when I just sort of try to ease into it and just kind of drive around, it's a little harsh sometimes. So I want to put this back in actually, because I don't know what it's like with it in. I want to put this in and kind of see what it feels like to have the clutch pedal normal. So in this video, you'll see how to either remove or reinstall one of these $85 clutch delay valves. So let's get started. Some tools you're going to need for the job are more brake fluid, .4 brake fluid to top up your brake reservoir, because you are going to be draining out a little bit of the fluid in order to bleed the clutch out. It's good to have a little line clamp off tool. This is like a fuel line clamp off tool. We're just going to pinch the clutch line closed so that not a lot of fluid drains out while we're actually installing or removing the valve. You need an 11mm wrench, and you need 2 17s. This is going to be for the fitting and then the hose going to the fitting. So 2 17s, or you can use one adjustable wrench if you don't have 2 sets of wrenches. So a 17 and then just a little crescent wrench should do the trick for you. I always have one of these just in case. All right, so here's our clutch line on the side of the transmission here. We're just gonna pinch it off with the tool. And you don't have to use this pinch off tool. You can use pinch off pliers, you know, whatever you got. And then a little drain pan is gonna be good to have. Or you can just drain the clutch fluid onto your ground, whatever you want to do. So we'll just go ahead and, let's see, no, this way. Yeah. So you want to unscrew this back one first. That's the one that's actually going to move. See, that fitting moves back on the line. And then you can just unplug the line from the end of the fitting there. Look at that, we got like no leaks at all. So in your case, you would, you know, if you're removing it, you just unscrew. That's why you need the 2 17s. Well, you still need them to tighten these together. In my case, I'm reinstalling it, so I still need my 2 17s to tighten them together. 2 17s, or, you know, 1 17 and an adjustable wrench of some kind. You don't need any kind of Teflon tape or anything. They're just, you just tighten them on. It's tapered, so it seals inside there. And you put that on. Get your fitting started. Get it tightened up as much as we can by hand. Okay. Okay, so now all we got to do is bleed out the clutch. Let me see if I can get you guys repositioned. So I lied to you guys. You also need a 7mm wrench to bleed out the clutch. There should be a little dust cap on the clutch, a little rubber cap. So you pull that off, and then we'll just open up the clutch line. And you don't really need a drain line for this. Yeah, I got it. I mean, you don't really need to have a little drain thing. You can just sort of gravity bleed it, but You know what? Let me get my little drain line just in case. Just because the camera's there, if I go and I squirt some clutch fluid out, it's gonna fly right on the camera. So I'm gonna get my little drain thing hooked up. You can just use like a little soda bottle with some tubing, some thin gauge tubing. Let's see, I think that should be open because I didn't have it tightened on a second ago. Let's just open it by hand. There, I can see the clutch fluid coming down. I'll just go up and I'll give the clutch pedal a couple of squeezes just to make sure that we squeeze everything out. 1, 2. Okay, looks good to me. Okay. Remember to replace the little nipple, and we're done. So my first impressions are that it's better for me. It's not, it's just less harsh. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just a little smoother. The thing I was noticing without the clutch delay valve is when I would, especially in first and second, when I would go to let the clutch out, the rate would be, you know, constant, and then once you get towards the end, I felt something pushing me off the clutch. Like the rate, you know, it felt like I would have to start pressing it harder in order to let it out smoothly. And that is now gone for sure. I'm still, I guess, getting a little used to this thing and finding out where the sweet spots are in it. Plus the gearing is still so high that, you know, if I give it any slight amount of gas as I'm doing a shift, the thing just wants to rocket forward, and it's really hard to sort of not do that, you know? So yeah, for me, it's definitely, I prefer to have it this way. It's just, the shifts are a little smoother for me, and I don't notice that they're taking longer. That's not my impression of it. It doesn't feel like it's taking longer. It just feels like, it just sort of feels normal now. So yeah, I'm super happy with this mod. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'm the 50s Kid. Thanks a lot for watching.